Seconds longer.
We're recording.
Right.
Starting to snow here.
All right. It looks
Snow?
really dark where you are, Dave.
Yeah, it is, yeah, it's snow.
Could I just make you out? You want to just make you out on the screen?
All right, Tom.
Put big light on.
That's better.
Here they are. They're both here now.
Anybody else got snow?
Not
No.
yet. Not yet.
No.
Sun shining.
Chris and Paul are obviously on real coffee. It took longer to brew.
I know that the Snake Pass was shut this morning for snow. I don't know if it's reopened.
It's always shut for snow, isn't it? Even in summer.
It was open yesterday. I went up there yesterday.
Well, it's shut this morning.
Running?
Really?
Running or
No, on
cycling?
my bike. On my bike.
Blimey.
You wouldn't be doing anything normal like driving.
I was lost.
You take your euphonium on the bike with you.
That'll keep the traffic away, won't it?
Yeah.
No.
Clear the way for you.
We're after he had some smell.
Better than using a bell.
Right then, come on, lol.
Let's be more news then on football.
St.
Now,
North.
Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank has been reappointed as Burton Albion manager 5 years after he last took charge of the League One club. He replaces Jake Buxton, who was sacked after the Brewers lost 4-3 to Wigan, their fourth defeat on the trot. Hasselbank was first appointed as Burton boss in November 2014, before leaving to go to QPR in December 2015. And he led in his first spell there to the League Two title.
Yeah. I mean, hang on, 4 defeats on trot, that's just playing at it.
Nothing. Feeble attempt.
Yeah.
Feeble.
A former goalkeeper, Colin Withers, he's died at the age of 80. He was capped for England at schoolboy level and had a youth career with West Bromwich Albion before turning professional. He made 245 appearances in the Football League, starting in 1957 at Birmingham, where he made 98 appearances, followed by Aston Villa, who he joined in 1964, where he made 146 appearances. He then joined Lincoln in 1969, but he only made one appearance for them before he crossed the sea to Holland in 1970, where he played 29 league games for Go Ahead Eagles in their top division.
Wasn't there a Withers goalkeeper for Blackpool as well? Have I got that wrong?
I remember him playing for Birmingham and
No,
I don't remember him playing for Blackpool.
are you thinking of Tony Waiters?
Tony Waiters, yeah.
Oh, could be. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Now, just 13 months after being sacked by Spurs, Mauricio Pochettino is back in management at the highest level with French billionaires PSG.
We've got him, have we?
He spoke to many clubs, including Benfica and Monaco, and he was approached by Barcelona, Real Madrid, before taking up his new post in France. Now, I don't know whether you saw this, but Sheffield United are investigating images on social media which appear to show French forwards bicycle sets crashed Lamborghini. South Yorkshire police say they have arrested 2 men on suspicion of drink driving in the early hours of yesterday morning in Sheffield. A police statement said that an orange Lamborghini had been in collision with a number of parked cars on Abbeydale Road South just after midnight. Have you seen the photo of that car?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mess.
Total write-off.
Yeah.
Total write-off.
How on earth?
There
Lol,
aren't many orange Lamborghinis in Sheffield. Not a lot.
Lol, how on earth has that happened? Because any time I've been down that road, I can't move.
It was after midnight. Have you been down after midnight, Ian?
Oh, okay.
I mean, no one's actually come out and said that it's Lys Mousset, but if it wasn't him, the police would have announced that they've arrested 2 people for drink driving and car theft. So
Yeah, that's right. It was well known for driving around Sheffield in that car.
Jesus.
Recognised it a mile away.
what an idiot.
What a total waste of time.
Another
Well,
one.
that's it.
If I ever need a brain transplant, I'll have his because he's not using his.
Good as new.
He's got no heart. He's got no heart.
Now, going back to football, Aidan Flint, he's returned to Cardiff City after his loan spell at Sheffield Wednesday was cut short. The 31-year-old centre-back arrived at Sheffield 6 last October on loan until the end of the season, but he suffered a hamstring injury which required surgery in only his 4th Owls appearance. He returned to Wales for treatment, with Sheffield Wednesday yesterday announcing that he is now officially a Cardiff player again. Another manager to lose his job, Joey Barton. He's left the League One side Fleetwood with immediate effect after nearly 3 years at the club. He joined the club in April 2018 and he led the Cod Army to last season's League One playoffs. They are currently 3 points off the playoffs again and in 10th position.
He's
Yeah,
going to take
spat
over.
with-
He's going to take over at Hillsbury, say.
Well, he fell out with Ched Evans, didn't he, before Ched Evans left? So I think something big bust up at that club somewhere.
Has he still got that case against Barnsley manager, Joey
Is
Barton?
that ongoing still? Has it been finished?
I don't know. Have a look.
Now, another manager to lose the job is Port Vale's John Askey after his team lost 4-0 at Mansfield and they dropped to 17th in League Two. Askey, whose Vale side missed out on the playoffs by 1 point last season, was appointed in February 2019. Now, a little bit on 2 bits on stats. Now, Wednesday have won 3 consecutive home games for the first time since April 2017. That's what I heard, but I don't know if it's right or not. It's 3.5 years to go, 3 on the trot is not very good home form.
Yeah, just going back to
Sounds
Joey
brilliant to
Barton,
me.
just going back to Joey Barton, the Daily Mail reports that he's left Fleetwood Town after a fight with Ched Evans in the dressing room.
Well, Ched Evans didn't take it serious, and I think he turned up in fancy dress for one of the training sessions, and that's when the fight started.
He was over wearing gloves and tights, wasn't it, apparently?
If John were here, he'd made something of that, something like he's behind you, or
Yeah.
Yeah, evidently Joey Barton had been laying into some of the players for the fact that they were wearing hats and gloves in training. And evidently Ched Evans got some photos of Joey Barton and his coaching staff when they were playing, also wearing hats and gloves. And I think one thing led to another. And Ched Evans, obviously being the lovely bloke that he is, you know, let it go.
Which planet are these people on?
I don't know.
Ego.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. That's a good one, Chris, that. Yeah.
Hello, bro.
I'm just looking to see what the papers have got to add to it.
Was Ched Evans left then?
We've got enough
Offside.
news as well without finding some more.
Well, they said that Ched Evans was going to Preston, but I don't know if that's happening now.
No, he was going to press on. That's not this.
Come on, Lol. I
Okay.
think you can do this,
Keep
Lol.
going.
No, I don't like to come out with this next item.
Well,
Now
don't
we
then.
know the Blades have made the worst start to a football season since the 4th Division Newport County
Shame.
in
Shame.
1970-71 season. Now Newport failed to win any of their first 25 league games that season,
So we've got
which
something
included
to
4
aim
draws.
for.
We've got a record to go for here.
Their first win was on the 15th of January when they beat Southend 3-0 at home. They then had a mini revival, which saw them finish above Hartlepool and Barrow. All 3 were re-elected to the league that season, along with Lincoln, who finished just above Newport. They also now hold the record for the longest winless run at the start of a Premier League season, which was previously held by QPR in 2012 to 2013 season. Now QPR in their run, when they won the 17th game when they beat Fulham 2-1, included 4 draws, whereas United have only had the 2 in their 17. Does anybody know who the manager was at the time at QPR? When they
What
went
year?
on that winless run?
What year was that, Lol?
2012 to 2013.
Ian Holloway?
No,
No.
Warnock,
no.
Neil Warnock.
Harry Redknapp.
He took over from the guy who got sacked after this poor run.
Right.
That gives you a clue. Play for Manchester United.
Robson.
God.
Roy Keane.
No. I'm surprised you're not getting this one.
Ryan Kidd.
What position?
He played forward. Inside forward when or centre forward when he played.
Oh, Mark Robbins.
Hughes.
Hughes, Mark Hughes, that's correct.
Oh, right.
Keith,
Yeah.
how many games this season have the Blades lost by a solitary goal?
Oh,
What percentage?
11, I think.
No,
11,
is
I
it?
think.
3. Yeah.
11.
Sorry, say again.
11.
3, I think.
Doesn't that tell you something?
Yeah, they're
It
shocking.
tells me with crap.
They're
Well, it says,
shocking.
why don't you park the bus?
We can't do that now.
Because we
We've
can't
tried
do
that.
We're incapable of changing tactically. We
But that performance at Crystal Palace last weekend was abysmal.
Yeah, it
The
was
defending was terrible.
awful.
The only good thing to come out of that match was when 16-year-old
no.
Antoine Hackford
No.
came on, who looks maybe promising, but
No.
who knows?
I don't agree with that. I'm sorry, Lol. I think it will set that lad back prematurely in his career.
You think
a long
so?
way. Yeah, yeah.
Just for
I
those
think it-
few minutes he came on?
No, I think in a Premier League situation that we're in, to ask that lad to come on like that, there was a
Throwing in
political
the
reason
towel.
behind that. There was
Yeah.
a political reason behind that. I think it was to say, look, this is what we've got left. This is what we've got.
Yeah. It was
When
the
they
throwing in
can't fill the
towel, John.
A fear for the young boy. I really fear for the young boy.
Do you know much about him, Chris?
Pardon?
Do you know much about this young lad? I'd never
I
heard of
know
him, to be honest.
Absolutely nothing, and that's the problem.
He's from Sheffield. That's
That's
as
the
much as
problem.
I know.
He
From
scored,
Sheffield.
he scored a
Good
few
setting.
goals, Hunter, for under 18s.
Could set him
Okay.
back a long time.
But it's
It's devastating.
well, we're in a bad
Bad.
place at the moment. Our only respite could come a week on Tuesday. Oh, next Tuesday,
Well, Newcastle?
Newcastle.
Oof, be joking.
No chance.
You've got
Oh,
a
you
Newcastle game, haven't
Say
you?
that, lol, but I mean, I know Liverpool didn't do against
We lost to Newcastle last
but
season, didn't they?
Newcastle, you can catch on the right day, you'll get a result.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
How can
Gotta be
the
a-
Shoot.
It's got to be a
score?
Saturday though.
They've got to shoot though. I mean, what have they got against shooting? Because there is something, isn't there? They must get a bonus for not shooting.
Yeah, goals are out of season.
Yeah, they pass across the park more times than anybody I've seen.
Yeah.
They do. They nobody wants
Even
to. Nobody wants to shoot at all. They just want to pass it on to somebody else. Here, you have a go. I'm not going to have a go. No, I'm
I
not
don't
going
know
to
if-
go. Pass it to him.
Did any of you watch the Wednesday Derby match?
Yeah,
No.
some of it.
Derby were just the same. It was like watching paint dry.
Did they have 70% possession?
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of that going on in the football at the moment. I don't know whether it's to do with the pandemic, mentality or whatever. But I mean, Liverpool last night were rubbish.
Yeah, they had
And
one
the
shot,
second
didn't they?
half, they were great. They weren't. They were passing from side to side, backwards. They'd forgotten the thing at the end of the pitch is called a goal. Two shots on target. Rubbish.
One
One
of
of them you
interesting.
could barely call a shot.
Yeah.
It was interesting on Saturday night to see Alan Shearer and see what he put about them. And he was saying the same. Why don't they get into the middle? They're never going to score unless they can get it over.
Yeah.
It's on the wing and nobody wants to pass it in. They
Yeah.
pass it to somebody at the side of them. They don't put it in the middle.
Yeah.
They don't give the man in the middle a chance at all.
Do you think it's
So,
anything
yeah.
to do with these stats? 95% completed passes. Well, Fabinho's got that for Liverpool. But only passes it 6 inches to the next player. You're bound to get 95%. He'll look around and think, oh no, I'll give it to him.
Yeah, Ray Wilkins. He did that, didn't he?
Yeah.
The crab.
Well, our goalkeeper's got the most saves stats in the Premiership.
Yep.
I'm
But he did
I'm
that.
not surprised.
No clean sheets though.
I might have made the most cock-ups as well.
Yeah, I think he's
He's shell shocked, isn't he?
Yes.
It's coming back at him all the time. They can't hold the ball up, can they?
Oh,
It's got to play on your nerves, hasn't it? If you've got a defence in front of you that's brittle, you say, where's this shot going?
yeah. We need to bring Doc Pace back.
he's dead.
Oh,
I'll do.
So,
So it's
Honest, isn't it? Yeah, it is terrible, isn't it? Really terrible.
just as an aside, Keith, is
Yeah.
Simon Moore still at the Lane?
I believe so.
Did he go out on loan?
No, he's injured, didn't he? He broke a finger.
Because they bought the lad from Scotland, didn't they?
Yeah.
He's injured.
Oh, right. Ah.
Well, it's Phillips that's on the bench at the moment as
Yeah.
a goalkeeping backup.
Yeah,
that's what-
I tell you,
Fotheringham, he's
Is it-
injured as well.
I tell you, he's deteriorated since he moved from Liverpool to the Blades. Brewster, he was
Yeah.
he was star of the future. This boy, star of the future. So Klopp put him out for some experience. Just died. He was useless.
Now, Chris talks about Hackworth being ruined. Do you think we've ruined Brewster?
It's on the cards.
talentless.
Well, apparently Swansea are wanting to take him on loan.
He was there last year, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He scored quite a few good goals as well,
Yeah.
Yeah,
from distance as well.
Can I pass an observation?
yeah.
He doesn't look remotely fit.
No.
He hasn't looked remotely fit since the first time he came onto the pitch. His body doesn't look the right shape. He doesn't move. When he sets off for a pass, it's from a standing start.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, that boy is not going to dig you out of a hole.
No.
And he is the
No.
most expensive player ever bought by our club. He's not a junior. He's not come through the ranks. He's 23.5 million.
Yep.
And someone needs to ask serious questions of the recruitment department who buy against the manager's specifications. They say this is the player to fit the spec.
Mm.
So
I think you raised 2 points there, don't you, Chris? I mean, the fitness bit. I mean, the biggest criticism I had of Klopp 2 years ago is that he was damaging more players through the fitness regime. People with groin injuries and pull muscles. And there's a big question mark over just how hard was he training them. But it certainly underpins all of Liverpool's work is that you've got to be fit, which is the first point you think you're raising. The other one is again, I'll use Liverpool as they've improved their transfer searches. They've got a much better team. Whether they work to a spec from Klopp or work to a spec from somebody else, I don't know. But I mean, a lot of the clubs that are in trouble at the moment is down to those two features: poor recruitment and poor training. And I think a lot of the football we see on television at the moment, and maybe the absence of the crowds, is substandard. Poor.
Yeah. Right, go on, Rob.
The Crystal Palace goal on Saturday was
The second one.
Yeah,
The
sorry,
second
the
one.
second one. Yeah, from a professional footballing point of view, was a disgrace.
Yeah.
Well, Ampadu just stuck out a leg as if half-heartedly to try and stop him.
Look at Norwood. When you
Yeah.
next see the goal, look at Norwood.
But he's a habit of just standing around anyway.
But that goal was not a wonder goal. That was an invitation to run and pass.
Don't beat yourself
That
up
was
about
the
it.
worst. That was the worst thing I've seen this season from
Well,
United. That goal was the worst thing I've seen.
Close second was last night's goal against Liverpool. 7 defenders Liverpool had, all strung to the left-hand side, and
Right.
the movement was on the right-hand side. What's that about? That's about mental fitness. You're not on the ball.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Right, let's move on.
Well, so endeth the news, Keith. I'm afraid. I've got no more.
Am I not on this week?
Yes, you can be, Chris.
Okay. No, I'll wait for long.
No, he's finished.
Oh,
You
he's
can
finished.
take over now, Chris.
All right. Do you want me to start,
Yeah,
Keith?
hang on.
Okay.
Dave.
Just saying, we lost Jerry Marsden this week, didn't we?
Mm,
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did.
You did.
You'll never walk alone.
yes.
Yeah.
Very
I
sad.
mean, my brother, our John, he knew Jerry Marsden. And he didn't have a very kind word to say about him. Apparently, Jerry Marsden was a bit of a chuff. But
Define chuff, please.
I think it begins and ends with a T.
Like a carrion crow with red legs and a red beak.
Long red
Yeah.
beat.
Well done, Paul.
He described him once as the poison dwarf.
God.
I went on the Mersey ferry for the first time in my life, and I must have been about 68. And Jerry Marsden was doing the commentary, on the loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apart from the Scouse accent, you couldn't tell a word he was saying in any case. The reproduction, it was hopeless. And at one point, some overseas visitor said, "Can somebody turn that noise off?"
Having said that, I think he made some good records. I mean, You'll Never Walk Alone.
Chuffing good records.
I like it. You
Written
do
by
what you
somebody else.
Paddy across the Mersey.
very cross. I thought, and his voice was good for those records. He's in my
They were
opinion.
a chuff.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. So
Dave.
yes,
What about Carragher stepping in to sponsor the game, Marine game
Yeah.
against Tottenham? That's brilliant.
it is. But will it go ahead?
Well, when it does eventually go ahead, I still sponsor it, I suppose. So he
Yeah,
stepped
but
in.
will the FA Cup have to be cancelled?
It might be our only chance of a win.
Yeah. But if it's elite football only, how's that going to work?
You don't get many ex-players dishing money out, though, do you?
No, you don't. No.
Well, most of them have
No,
spent it.
It's brilliant what he's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, but any thoughts on whether the FA Cup will continue or not? Has anybody heard anything?
Well,
Been
they
no
gave
mention
a
yet.
compensation in the first 2 rounds for the non-league clubs to be able to play, didn't they?
Yeah.
So whether they will continue to do that, but now it's got to the third round, I would have thought there's even more chance that they will. But I've not heard anything now.
Everything hangs on this virus, this vaccination, doesn't it?
Oh, don't get me going on that one, because they're struggling to do that.
I know. They don't like it up them, Paul. They don't like it up them.
My wife's been involved in the delivery of it, and there are some real problems.
Yeah, I can
I
imagine.
believe that.
I can imagine.
Basically, they can't get hold of them.
You mean Boris
Patients on the
delivering them
vaccination.
himself?
Do you know that if you know, they're crying out for medical staff?
Yeah.
Yep.
And they've asked for volunteers for recently retired doctors to go back. She knows of 3 who have volunteered to go back. One of them has just retired as a intensive care doctor, and they've all been turned down.
On what grounds?
They have to go through 21 different elements of training in order to be able to go back. I can list them for you if you want, but there are 21 elements that they have to complete. One of the doctors spent 6 hours online on Friday and has got through less than a quarter of the training. This is for somebody who's had 40 years experience as a doctor, and all they want them to do is to help, not even stick the needles in their arm. All they want them to do is to help be on the team, but they've been turned down.
That's the public sector for you, I'm afraid.
Yep.
When you reach 55 in the Air Force, you're brain dead. You flick a switch, you're dead.
Desperate times.
Proves it.
Desperate measures.
Yeah, but no, 21 things in the way.
Wow.
Stupid.
Hang on, if I can just give you 1 or 2 of them if you.
Go on.
I mean,
Turn it into a quiz.
Racial awareness is one of them.
Right. That's petty, isn't it? That's petty.
And another one is anti-radicalisation. How many people would you radicalise in 15 minutes? You know, you've got to have conflict resolution level 1. You need core knowledge for vaccinations that you would expect. Data security awareness. Equality, diversity and human rights training. Fire safety level 1. Health, safety and welfare level 1, infection prevention level 2, introduction to anaphylaxia, the legal aspects of vaccination, moving and handling level 1, preventing radicalisation, managing anaphylaxis, resuscitation level 2. Bear in mind, these people have been doctors for 40 years. Resuscitation level 2 is going to be vital, isn't it? Safeguarding adults, safeguarding children, both of those have got to be at level 2. Vaccine administration and vaccine storage. So there's 21 things that they have to go through in order to be able to help with the vaccination program.
And all they've got to do is find the right bottle, find the right needle, find the right arm, and jag it. Ridiculous.
Well, it'd help if they could actually get hold of the vaccination, because I know they say that they're going to deliver 5 million vaccinations by Christmas. They only have 520,000 of the vaccinations.
Yeah.
It's all right ordering them, but if you've got no delivery plumbing program, you're sunk.
Correct.
Yeah. When they're ready.
Yeah, they had all the appointments set up, and the delivery was late. So they had to cancel the first hour's worth because the delivery hadn't arrived in time. The next week that they did it, the bloke who delivered it was supposed to deliver 975 vaccinations. He only delivered 75, but nobody challenged him because they didn't realise that's what they were dropping off at the time.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. You couldn't write the scripts, really.
Yeah, but it's
so sad.
It's just another Boris lie.
It is. Yeah. There's no way they're going to get 5 million done by middle of February. No, sorry. Is it 15 million by middle of February? Something like that.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
2 million a week.
It won't happen, Paul. It won't happen.
They can't even get hold of 2 million a week. Never mind about sticking them in people's arms.
Yeah.
No.
Right. Anyway, enough of the politics. Chris.
Sorry.
It's very interesting, isn't it?
politics
Yeah,
apart,
it's quite-
I think it is very worrying because as soon as you get people jagged, the sooner you release the pressure on the NHS,
Yeah.
and you actually start breaking this whole problem down, and the sooner you can go back to a normal regime.
Yeah, but people need to be told real, proper
Yeah,
information, not Boris's made up stuff to make him look good information.
I'm with you on that, Keith, but I think this is where it's getting political. There is what Paul says, a logistic issue. Yeah. Now, you can't blame Boris for the logistics issue. You blame Boris
Well-
for selling porky pies. The logistic
but-
issue is inherent.
Part of the problem is that they sold off all the labs that could manufacture them.
Yeah.
In the last 10 years, they've sold off every single one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we don't have the capacity. They're trying to reopen them.
Yes.
But in times of austerity, they sold them off.
Yeah, and in another element of Boris's lies and the others, they keep referring to this Oxford vaccine as the British or the UK vaccine. Didn't I see somewhere where it was actually made in Germany?
Yeah,
Belgium.
well, it's certainly in Europe anyway.
Belgium.
But that's UK,
Belgium.
Keith. We've got a track record, which we should be proud of inventing things and developing
Correct.
things, but we can never produce them. That's
Yeah.
why Japanese produce watches. LCDs were invented at Malvern in Worcestershire, but the Japanese produced them. That's
The
our
scientists have done a fantastic job in inventing it.
Yeah.
But we can't develop it. We can't manufacture it.
Exactly. We haven't got the
Right,
capacity.
Chris, let's get back to Chris. You've got
Yes, please.
He's another troublemaker.
Right. I find that a very interesting discussion. What I thought was that several of us must be in the depths of despair about our club, Bramall Lane. So it prompted me to sort of think, well, what would be a bit more uplifting? What would give us a laugh, a smile? And in going through some chests of items that my dad, my late dad, has left behind, I came across an item of this. Now, I hope you can see that, but this is a 50-year-old home fixture list for United
That was a good season, that, Chris.
that used to be in shops, and it was displayed to promote matches, and it survived. On the back, I can tell this one was in use because on the back it says "back in 2 minutes," scribbled in pencil. So I thought, well, this season, for anyone who's not a United fan, was, in the memory of people as old as me, probably one of the greatest seasons. And so it prompted me just to sort of say, well, there's a few questions I might ask in the group about the 1970-71 promotion season, that incredibly old, quite tatty fixture list. But now I've found it, I think I might frame it because it's like club history. It's not worth anything, but to me it's worth a lot. So it prompted me to look at a few of the key games, and I've only got 2 or 3 minutes. But one of the first games in that season was against Bristol City. Does anyone know what the score was with about 20 minutes to go?
Is that the one where they're about 3-0 down?
Correct. Correct, Paul. They were 3-0 down, and they scored in what would now be the 92nd minute, and they've got it to 3-3. Can anyone give me the goal scorer?
Was it Woody?
Woody scored the first.
Right.
Dearden.
Dearden scored the second.
Curry?
Nope.
Tell me it wasn't Len Badger.
No, I'll tell you, it wasn't Len Badger.
Okay.
It was the great John Tudor.
Oh,
Tudor. Now, going forward in the season, they did play a team called Sheffield Wednesday in a massive game with 39, nearly 40,000 at the match. United managed to win 3-2.
Correct.
Can anyone give me the scorer of the winning goal? Wednesday were 2-0 down, and
Tudor.
Wednesday did very well.
John Tudor.
John Tudor again, yeah. And I saw an article in the Daily Mail that suggests he may be suffering from dementia. And I'd love to find out how well John is, because he was an almighty fine player in a short period of time for United. So if anyone comes across that, I'd be very interested.
In his first 2 games for United, he scored 4 goals.
Lol,
Yep.
you're dead right, mate. I'll
Oh,
give
wait,
it
You making everyone Bury?
Bury and Bury.
We were
Bury.
there, Dave.
We were.
And then-
We were together, weren't we? Yeah.
I was there. Didn't see you, Keith. I was there.
Yeah.
Next,
Did you hear him?
Then
next
at
home
home to
game, guys.
Preston when we won 4-0.
Correct. Next home game, was Hull. This was a defeat. This was gut-rending.
yeah.
This was the dirtiest match
Yeah.
probably ever played at Bramall Lane.
Ken Knighton.
Been Knighton.
Knighton, right? But
Mm.
when was the next time Sheffield United lost?
Don't think they did.
Manchester United.
Lol.
Manchester United.
Top man,
yeah.
lol.
Yeah.
22 matches later, we lost
Old
a game, and
Trafford.
it was the famous game at Old Trafford. But the
Right.
game at Bramall Lane, I
Chris.
thought we'd blown it.
Yeah, Chris, we're
Yeah.
less than a minute,
Yeah, fine.
so we'll go on to that next week.
Brilliant, that.
Does anyone find that interesting? Because if you
Oh,
don't,
yeah.
just say.
Brilliant.
Just
Yeah.
say,
Yeah,
I know.
brilliant.
Keep going with it.
Okay.
All right, so
Okay.
we've got to end it
Thanks,
now.
guys.
I'll see you all next week.
The,
Yeah.
Take care.
all the best.
See ya.
All the best.
Stay